Whoa, who's
Whoa!
should have checked that? It was fine. You must have raised your hands. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. That's a good start. Welcome to the Bourbon Basement. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steve. Welcome back.
Welcome back. I'm so glad that I got to be a part of that one. I wasn't here last week, and of course, when I come back, the technical difficulties are back. You had to have raised your hand or something just in the time that I walked
I've
over to
been
the other
over
side.
here preparing and writing. I haven't even been talking.
Before I set up the title and everything, it was fine.
It was. I do agree.
I'm
So,
just saying. So
welcome to the Bourbon Basement,
I
everybody.
think
Welcome back, Rye.
this camera's officially got a mind of its own, I believe. I think it's just going to start zooming in whenever it wants to.
It probably will.
All right. Well, anyway, so go ahead and tell us what we're going to be doing.
Well, we're going to jump right into it, I guess. I do want to say that if you are tuning in tonight, thank you. Thank you for tuning in and watching us. We are going to be doing and talking about some Thomas S. More bourbon, a little bit of history on that, a tasting and review on that. Some other bottles up here, and you'll see how they tie in a little bit. But what I want to do at first, I want to welcome right back off of his storm, and at least I got somebody to talk to tonight and bounce some things off of.
Had to go
So
get some people's power back on in North Carolina and Virginia, baby.
I do appreciate him being back with us. We thought he was going to be gone again.
Now we were supposed to go out again, but they ended up calling it off. We got the text just a little bit ago saying that it was a no go. So
Well, that's good. Bad for those people that you ain't going to be there. But anyway, uh,
cheers, all you magnificent whiskey people. Neophyte, appreciate you tuning into the stream as
here's Bourbon
always.
Midnight.
Happy Friday.
I want that's the other thing I was going to do. This show's going to be a little bit different, a lot the same, but a little bit different. And don't want to drag it out too long, but it may be a little bit longer because I'm going to kind of play a game. I need help from all my audience out there. Uh, so go ahead, sit back, get you a drink. If you have any Barton products, 1792, Thomas S. More, or anything like that, go ahead and pour you one, and you can drink with us and follow along. If you don't, just pour your favorite or pour one of your weaker ones, whatever you're feeling tonight. And we'll be drinking. We'll be your drinking buddies. That's what we always want to do.
It's Friday. It's the weekend.
But here is my challenge to you guys. Go ahead. What do you got?
He's got a glass of scotch poured already. He was already prepared for it.
He knows when he
He
watches
knows.
us, he needs that. He's been pre-gaming. I'm gonna tell you, I was pre-gaming a little bit earlier too. I got a little drink poured back here before the tasting. Sometimes that works out good. Sometimes it doesn't.
We'll see how many times the camera zooms in, and we'll tell you if it worked out good or not.
Anyway, so what I want to do, and this will all tie in at the end, but what I want to do for you guys out there watching, uh, think of a distillery name that you would name a distillery if you were opening a distillery today. Send that to us with a slogan. And I've got some examples for you. And I'm going to go to the real distilleries, and then I've got some of our distilleries. So, Green River. All right. So, Green River is the whiskey without regrets. I think we've talked about that before, but their slogan's the whiskey without regrets. I like that one. Maker's Mark. We talked about the old one. It tastes expensive and is.
Yeah.
And then if we could make it faster, we wouldn't. So that's Maker's Mark slogans. I like
If we can make it faster, we would.
those are both good. Then I got New Riff. So New Riff Distillery, their slogan's a new riff on an old tradition. All right, so pretty simple.
Interested to see what you think about the Thomas S. More, but we'll get into our tasting and review here in just a little bit, and we'll give you our personal opinion. And then we got never actually heard of Thomas S. More, so someone's
Well, that's we're getting into this, and everybody's gonna learn a little bit today.
a first time experience for a lot of us, I believe.
Funny thing, I've got this bottle up here for reference. This is Jay Mattingly. All right, so Jay Mattingly, it's one heck of a pick. That's their slogan.
One heck of a pick.
Uh, Buffalo Trace is perfectly untamed. I thought that was pretty good. It's Buffalo, but what I like to give them, I gave them a slogan myself. Buffalo Trace, always allocate. I think that's a better slogan. That fits them a little bit better. Uh, Not really, guys. It's not really that. Heaven Hill is some of these they're thriving together and the best of great Kentucky bourbons. So some of these are pretty simple. Angel's Envy is revere tradition, embrace progress, which is a little bit uh, they are embracing progress because they were like the first ones to ever finish a bourbon in another cask because they always finish theirs in port wine barrels. And the traditional bourbonists didn't want them to be allowed to be called bourbon. because of that finish. Now everybody's finishing, and that is something that these are. These are all finished. So Thomas S. Moore's finished products.
As long as Green River did not sour whiskey is killer. LOL. Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
Rabbit Holes, theirs is creation is personal. Old Forester, America's first bottled bourbon. Their other one that they like to use a lot is There's Nothing Better on the Market. Wild
That's a bold
Turkey.
statement.
This is my favorite one. And this is the kind of slogan that I want for my pretend distillery that you are going to suggest today. I need suggestions for distillery, and I'm going to give you some that me and Ryan and our producer has come up with, okay? But wild turkeys is when you know it's right. Don't change a dang thing. Except they didn't say dang. I was a little more civil.
We'll keep it PG.
But I like that one. So that's kind of that would be a slogan that I would take over if they ever got rid of. Now some of the ones that we created for our pretend distillery is Derby Distillery, bourbon or a horse's history. That's the slogan. Uh, this one Ryan created Feral Trace Distillery.
You gotta keep the name in there.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, boys.
I got Bourbon Basement Distillery. It all starts with a good foundation. I got the Bourbon Basement Distillery, same as the show, and it's this kind of. Sometimes you got to go down to get up. This got different meanings to everyone that hears that. You know, that's probably anyway. Farrell Family Reserve, starting a new legacy, and the Bourbon County Distillery, where bourbon got its name. All right, so these are the ones. Now, Ryan, these are going in a hat. All right, so if you all got any more that come in, we're going to write those down. They are also going to go in a hat, and then all that's going to tie back in to this little history story that I've got going. Right?
Yay!
Yay! Are you ready to start the history?
No better time like the present.
Okay, well, I guess let's go about Thomas S. More, the bottled bourbon first, okay? So the bourbon, Thomas S. More bourbon. It is actually a Barton 1792 product. It is honoring their founder, who actually built the first distillery. What did we do?
I don't know. Our thing got moved for some reason. We're having all kinds of problems tonight.
Technical difficulties.
We're back.
And the Thomas S. More is listed as their premier line. So you had your 1792. The Thomas S. More is supposed to be Barton's premier line, keeping them kind of behind the bottles. You notice my hands; they're kind of behind the bottles, so hopefully it won't make the.
Maybe just sit here like this for a little bit.
It's impossible. I've tried it.
Just be calm.
It's impossible. So now this is made with the high rye mash bill. Now Sazerac, we've all know who Sazerac is, right? They own Buffalo Trace. They also own Bart. All right, and we know how secret Sazerac is with Buffalo Trace's mash bill. Well, they are also so secret with Barton's mash bill, so they don't give the mash bill. But it is a high rye mash bill. They have a high rye mash bill, and then they have a higher rye mash bill.
Yeah, we got premier with question marks here. How premier are we talking with these?
Okay, so if some people think premier, so if you think premier is high dollar, then these are all the Thomas S. More bottles I've seen are between 70 and maybe 120 bucks, depending on where you go and where you get them. If you get them around Total Wine or Liquor Barn or something like that, they're between $70 and $80. I have seen some a little bit higher, maybe around 109. Okay, so if you're looking at Premier like that way, considering that these bottles MSRP are about $45. So that kind of is it's almost a double the price jump. So from your regular to your Premier. So that's kind of the Premier that we're going at there. But that's the other thing I wanted to get in. When I think Premier, I think older, more coveted, aged longer, that kind of bourbon. They're kind of opposite with this. So way back when, the 1792 bourbon, all the way up to 2013, they used to have an 8-year age statement. So it used to have an eight-year age statement until 2013. That's this one right here. But now it doesn't. So 2013 they dropped that age statement, but now it's kind of like Wild Turkey was when they dropped their age statement. Everybody still believes there's no proof behind this, just me Googling stuff and reading magazine articles. They still believe this is 6 to 8 year old bourbons that's in this that makes up their small batch and everything. Now they have like a 12 year, that's age stated, so you know everything's 12 year. They have full proof, they have all that stuff. But just a regular old small batch, they think that's 6 to 8 year old bourbons. Okay. So if that's 6 to 8 year old bourbons, I would think this is 8 to 10 year old bourbons.
Well, Neophyte said Thomas S. More surely isn't Premier, his opinion. If you're going, I guess in his opinion, Premier means like that high dollar stuff. He said surely it's not that Premier.
So if you're thinking cost wise, it is on the lower end of a premier kind of thing, right?
Well, he said
premium. I say premier, premium, I guess.
He said the 1792 is another story. The full proof is a good bottle.
Yes, the full proof. We've got that one back here
somewhere.
I was going to talk about it, but it'll get into our tasting and everything, and that'll go a little bit longer. So I'm going to just refrain from that one for a minute. But what makes this one then premier? Because this one, from everything that I've gathered, is just 5 and 6 year old bourbons. Now, that is the initial bourbon. What makes it a bourbon? It's aged in brand new oak, charred oak barrels.
It's the finishes.
It's the finishes. So every one of your Thomas S. Moores are finished. All right. They're finished in another barrel, and they can be finished up to 4 years. So this bourbon may actually age in a barrel for 10 years. And now, if you think about finishing bourbons, everybody else that finishes bourbons, they probably stay in that second barrel less than 6 months.
I was going to say 10.
They probably stay in that barrel less than 6 months. Thomas S. More, they finish their bourbons for years, not months. And that is the main difference kind of between this. This is the 1792 cognac, right? Cognac. Cast finished bourbon.
Like the Hennessy out.
So they took their 6 to 8 year old bourbons, they finished them in cognac, and that is a finished 1792. Well, that's what Thomas S. More was their finishes. So what makes them different? It's because the length of time. This one's about 6 months. These are over a year, maybe up to 4. All right, go ahead.
If I took time to age it for 8 years, I should have put it on the label. That's what your brother said.
I would too. And
then he said exactly. Peter said he poured a Trails Inn 10-year. Haven't heard. I've heard it was Barton, so that'll do. So that's what he's drinking this evening.
All right,
Trails, nice. I've not heard of Trails Inn before. I don't believe it.
Yeah, I haven't either. You've got Wilderness Trail.
Yeah, we've got some trails, but I don't think we have Trails Inn.
I don't have a Trails Inn. Is Trails Inn, is that a Kentucky bourbon? Even if it's made at Barton's, is it listed as a Kentucky bourbon, or did they like age it somewhere else?
I'm not sure.
I'm asking.
Oh, we got Alexa going off in the background.
Alexa, quit listening. Put our show out somewheres. All right, guys. So let's get into.
If I said cheers to the producer as well. He's hiding back behind the camera.
Cheers, produce. You know what? Got put out produce's little bottle here. All right, so now let's get into story time about Thomas S. Who was the man? So we talked about Wild Turkey last week, and we talked about Austin Nichols. And I don't know if you all knew, but Austin Nichols is not a person.
He kind of looked like Teddy Roosevelt.
You got one, babe.
Oregon finished with Garyana Oak. So it's not a Kentucky.
That's probably why I don't have it then, yeah. All right, so.
Story time.
He's still pointing at something. Okay.
What? Oh, the pin clicking.
Oh, man, give me that.
Producer's really on our backs tonight.
What's going on here? All right, guys. So Thomas S. More is actually a person, right? All right, so he is a person. Way back in the 1800s, there he was born, like 1850 something, right? Now, at the age of 11, his daddy died. He had to drop out of school. All right, he had to help his family, support his family. Well, so at that time, he lived with a widowed mother, a brother, and 2 sisters.
Had to get his paperboy
All
round.
right, now he was 11. Now, when I'm sure they were struggling. The man brought home the income back then, so the kids, he was in school. He was one of the lucky ones because a lot of them didn't go to school way back then. Anyway, he had to drop out. So, but what that did was one of his sisters stepped up and she took one for the family by marrying a guy named Charles Willett. Now, at that time, Willett was one of the oldest whiskey families around, and they had bunches and bunches of money. So they were very well off then. Well, at the age of 17, Thomas S. Moore, he went and worked in the Willett Distillery. And when he worked there, he met another employee named Ben Maddenley. Maddenley Willett.
Well, it's funny how all these tie together.
Now you see how these tie in, right? So Maddenley and Willett. So they worked in the distillery there. He worked until he was 23. So 6 years, Ben and Thomas worked together real close, right? Well, then Mr. Willett, it says in the history there, it says signed over. So I don't know if they purchased or if it was gifted, but they became owners of the Willett Distillery, Thomas Moore and Ben Madden. Evidently, Ben had a majority ownership. Thomas had the less majority. Anyway, they changed the name from Willett to Madley and Moore Distillery, where they made Madley and Moore bourbon and a Bell of Nelson bourbon. Now, Bell of Nelson was a horse, by the way, and it was owned by the Madley family. So the Bell of Nelson, they made a bourbon about the horse. It won the Kentucky Oaks in the 1870s there at some time. So it was their prized racehorse, and they had a bourbon named the Bell of Nelson. Nelson because Nelson County, that's Bardstown, that's where the distillery was, and Bell because she was a filly. So it was like a Southern Belle. So I thought it was a cool name for a horse. Anyway, so they're working on those 2 bourbons and some other products, right? Well, they do that for 15 years. So they own this distillery together, Manley and Moore, for 15 years. And then just abruptly, for no warning, Manley sold to a group of investors. Now, it was the majority percentage. So that meant that Moore pretty much was an owner, but not like one of the 2. He was one of many now. And he continued to work there 8 years. He didn't like the way things were going. So he resigned from Manley and Moore, which then became just Manley Distillery. He resigned from there and he bought 116 acres right next door. Just right there. Bought 116 acres right next door to that distillery and built a distillery of his own and started making Thomas Moore bourbon, amongst other things. But Thomas Moore bourbon was his main one, right? And his distillery thrived while the Manley distillery suffered. And in 1916, he was able to acquire that acreage and that distillery as well. So Thomas S. Moore owned his original and that, and was still thriving until what? 1920. And then everything slams the doors with prohibition, right? So he's sitting at home retired, I guess. I don't know what he's doing. It doesn't say. But after repeal, so 1933 there, him and his son Cornelius, they come back and they opened the distillery back up. They expanded the distillery and they improved the distillery. All right. And he got to do that for 4 years before he passed at 84 years old. And that was in 1937. So that's how all this stuff goes. So he passed at 84 years old in 1937. Cornelius, his son, kept the distillery going until 1944 when he sold it to a little guy named Oscar Getz. And I don't know if he was little. I don't know why he said little guy, but to a guy named Oscar Getz.
Compared to me, he was quite little.
Who changed the name to the Barton Distillery, which is the distillery that is there today. All right, so that's the Barton Distillery. Now, this is where the distillery. Have we got any distillery names?
No, not yet.
Anybody
thinking about if you were to make a distillery, guys.
You guys think a distillery because this is why I'm doing this. Oscar Getz, who changed the name to Barton. How did he come up with Barton Distillery? His name's Getz. I don't know. But here's how he did it. They put a bunch of names in a hat and randomly picked one. And that became the name of the distillery. So that's what we're doing here today. A bunch of names in a hat, and we're going to randomly pick one. So
we're going to open a distillery.
We might. We might. Not guarantee that it's going to be the name that's here, but we might.
Spoiler alert.
Anyway, so that's why we're doing the hat thing. That's how Barton became around, and that's why Thomas S. More is honored with a bourbon of his own. Now, if you look at these bottles, right here is a horse, guys.
It looks like vodka.
If you all see the horse, that's supposed to be the bell of Nelson, right there. All right. They put that on the bottle just to honor one of the first bourbons that he made. Believe his rendition of his picture, a drawing of his picture, is there on the back. And like I said, each one of these bourbons is finished in something. I'm going to take these down because these aren't important anymore. Because now we're going to get into trying a bourbon, right? And what we're going to try is a Thomas S. More. And I don't know which one you want to try. You want to try, here, you can pronounce that one.
Is it interesting?
No.
This one is a Chardonnay cask.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay, it's fancy wine. And this one's port. And this one here is port. So which one would you like to try today? We're going to let you have the choice. You pick one, open it. I put your knife down there to cut around the cork if you want.
Just pick one.
Chardonnay.
You want to try the Chardonnay?
Sure. All right.
Chardonnay right there. So we'll take these other two, put them back. So our rating for today is not going to be on all Thomas S. More products, but it will be on the Chardonnay one.
All right, so we got Corknet Country Reserve. What's your slogan, Goosemaster?
We need a slogan.
We need a slogan to go with it.
Corking it. It's corking it.
Corking it?
Corking it. Corking it. Corking it County Reserve. That's a.
That's hey, it's a distillery name right there. If I ever heard one.
A ring to it.
Pork in it.
Pork in it. Buffalo
Need a
Trace
slogan,
finally
though.
listens
Need a
to us.
We need that slogan.
The slogan for that could be Buffalo Trace finally listened to us.
Don't be Buffalo Trace. We put a cork in it.
Buffalo Trace finally listened to us.
Yeah, not Buffalo Trace.
I think I've talked about everything.
Peter said you'll love the full list.
I like that one better. Keep that one down, Ashley. You'll love.
He said slogan. Goosemaster said get corked.
Get
corked.
So which one we use it? You'll love to pull it or get corked?
Hey, there's those kind of Maker's Mark had two slogans. Why can't we have two?
All right,
three
fine.
on
We'll
that
use
thing?
them both. Get corked.
I like them both. All right, you're writing down. I'm going to open. Well, that didn't go as long as I thought it would. So we're doing pretty good on time, guys. Yeah. So it may not be a longer show after all.
All right, that's one, guys. Keep them coming.
When we put our heads together.
I do want to tell you all about what's coming up in February on the show. So February, we're going to do, for the first time, we're going to do a...
There's been 2 or 3 that's chimed in, so you might want to repeat it.
Oh, okay. So, guys, if you all are just now tuning in, which I've got a thing that says that maybe we have some new viewers.
We're playing a game.
We're playing a game, and it's named The Distillery. If you go back and you watch this episode, you're going to hear a little bit of history about Thomas S. More and how Barton's got its name. It was actually a name that was picked out of a hat. So I thought it would be fun to pick our distillery name, if we had one, out of a hat today. We gave some examples. The ones that I like, Wild Turkey. When you know it's good, don't change a dang thing. So
we don't really have to go back into detail.
No,
if you're just now tuning in, if you were to come up with a distillery name on your own, what would you call it? And what
give
would
an
the slogan
example. Yeah, what would you call a distillery, and what would the slogan be? And then we're going to put that in a hat, and we're going to see what our distillery name would be today if we was to open. All right, so
I thought you were pouring while I was writing.
Well, I cut open. You can do some pouring.
Do the cork.
The thing with February, guys, it's going to be fake it.
Wait.
There's a
good one. Oh.
I don't
you
know
probably
if
won't hear it, but it was a decent one, guys.
Yeah, it was.
Vappy, welcome back. Appreciate you tuning in, sir.
I'm going to have a I guess, a series on our show for the month of February. Think we're only going to have 3 episodes because I'm going to be out of town the last week. But what we got?
It all down the side. What are we doing?
Sorry there. But what we got going on for February is fake it till you make it February. And I got a kind of a weird mind. There you go, produce. So what I was thinking of, fake it till you make it. I was thinking of NDPs that are actually in the process or have talked about building a distillery. So we're going to go over some NDPs that are actually building their distillery right now. So that's kind of the fake it till you make it because they're sourcing everything and then they'll start making their own. All right. We've had a lot of those.
That's not faking it. There's a lot of good sourced bourbons.
Yeah, just but saying. I mean, they're getting it from somewhere else. So now they're going to be making it their own. It's kind of a fake it till you make it. But anyway, February's about NDPs.
That smells awful sweet for a rye.
It's a high rye, and I did not give you the mash bills because they don't list them. But there's a lot of rumors. Everybody has rumors on all these things that you go to, and this one is supposed to have like 25% rye in it.
It smells sweet for a high rye content.
It's supposed to be 70 corn. Well, it's alleged to be 70 corn, 25 rye, and 5 malted barley. Whereas their regular standard for their small batch and everything is 75 corn or 74 corn, 18 rye, and 8 malted barley.
I smell the yeast.
So it's still high rye on everything.
It smells like you walked in.
I smell the yeast.
I don't know if it's the Chardonnay or what, but I'm not. It's not a pleasant smell to me.
Really?
No,
I love it.
I don't like it.
Oh, I love it.
See, I think
to me it kind of smells like a wet dog.
I was literally about to say the same thing. I think mine tastes like wet dog, and it makes sense because I mean I'm smelling a little bit of wet dog. We do have a dog laying over on the couch,
Okay,
but
now
I think I would have smelled it before.
We can't judge every Thomas S. Moore on this. This is Chardonnay. Producer really likes it. She is a wine.
She's a wine drinker.
She's a wine drinker. But this is the Chardonnay finish. To me, it doesn't have a pleasant smell.
It smells yeasty, a little bit of wet dog. Some people are down with that.
I'm smelling wet dog, but I'm trying to see past that and see if I can get any fruit notes. So I've been trying to get at least three definite smells that I can get out of one before.
It's got good
yeast.
It's got very good tears.
Almonds. It's almost like a milky smell. You know how milk has a smell to it? Not sour milk, but like, I don't know. It's weird.
Wow.
All right. I got wet dog, pear, and caramel.
Brown sugar. I got brown sugar.
If I have to have 3 smells, it's wet dog, pear, and caramel. It's all of it's very weak. The worst smell that I smell is what's taking over. That's not going to be everyone's worst smell. But
let me know how you all feel about wet dog.
But that's what it kind of is like to me. So sorry about that, and I'm not trying to say every Thomas S. Moore is going to smell that way because it shouldn't.
Peter said, to be honest, I used to see these bottles on most disappointed lists. That was a few years ago, though. So I don't ever get disappointed drinking a bourbon. I don't think I'll be let down because I don't really have any expectations or anything out of this. So well, that's not a good face. We got wet dog, and now
It was the wait till you taste this now the first guys. If you're just now tuning in the show, we never judge on the first taste or the second. We get some acclamations in there, and then we judge. Wait till that aftertaste comes in.
Maybe pulling a slight aroma of poodle. Well, makes sense because we do have a poodle laying on the couch next to us.
Read the proofage and everything on this, right? Because I can't see it, and the glare off the lights and everything else.
Oh, sold them in a store for $20 each, blowout sale. So they were trying to move them.
To be honest, to be honest with these, I didn't know much about these. I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of finishes, and the Chardonnay, and I'm kind of used to port finish because I do drink Angel's Envy, and I think it is a good drink.
I get a little bit of. What am I supposed to be reading off of
this?
The
proofage and stuff, because it's not hard to allocate to this.
Acclimate. So back to that pre-gaming that we talked about and doing earlier.
Pre-gaming did I do?
I don't know. You were down here for a little bit. This is 97.9 proof, 48.95%.
So 97.9 proof. So
I feel a little bit of a.
And they do
98
give
proof.
you a bunch of.
You're probably feeling the rye spice. That's probably the spiciness that you're getting.
The taste to me does not match the smell.
Well, the taste to me doesn't match the smell either, which is really good for me because
but
I did not want to taste wet dog.
But I thought the taste was worse than the smell.
Oh, really? I thought I was centered.
Mm-mm.
No, you're all.
You weren't even close.
No, you're way.
That was you.
I literally did this.
That was not me.
I never raised my hand off the counter.
Hey, we're getting a lot better at getting it back, though.
I never raised my hand off the counter. Can anyone vouch for me? Like, seriously, I slid up and came back.
Didn't even move, so it couldn't have been me.
I swear this camera's got a mind of its own now. I never raised my hand off the counter.
So I'm not getting a lot of the alcohol burn. So it's less than 100 proof, but it is 98 proof. So that's a pretty good proofage for a bourbon. I was talking about my prices. So to be honest, I didn't know a lot about Thomas S. More. And when I first started collecting bourbons, I was just looking for anything Kentucky. And it didn't matter what it was or anything, just trying to build my collection so we could do this show on Kentucky bourbons because our show is only about Kentucky bourbons. Not that no other bourbons are good, just that that's where we live and we want to try all of them.
If I said that's the joy of live streaming. You never know what's going to happen. That is a 100% fact with us, especially.
But so these here, I did find on the auction. I was bidding $15 to $20 on these bottles, and I was winning them, and I was getting them to my door about $45.
Which isn't bad.
So that's not bad because it was about half price of what it was. So I thought I was getting a good deal. But now that I know they're getting in blowouts and everything for $20 and nobody really likes them, maybe it wasn't such a good deal after all.
Well, maybe not around here. That's just, certain areas. I've done my third sip, so I guess I'll go ahead and start. It's not bad. It's extremely smooth. I'm not getting a whole lot of that rye burn out of this with the high rye content. It doesn't take a whole lot to acclimate to. I'm getting cinnamon. There's some cinnamon aspect notes here. A little bit of vanilla, and then it reminds me a lot of that older makers that we had.
Okay.
The taste of it reminds me a lot of that.
I'm getting yeah.
Because I have a little bit of
where you can.
I have a little bit of tequila-esque going on, and I thought that one tasted a lot like tequila, but there's a little bit of tequila-esque going on the aftertaste. He said with that dog going on for sure, Steve. That's why you probably wouldn't spend that much money on these again. Maybe.
No, well, definitely.
Not if you can get them in a blowout.
Definitely not the Chardonnay. Of course, there may be one of these finished that I really enjoy. I don't know.
Now, I don't think that this is bad. There's a little bit of sweetness to it. There's a little bit of cooking spice, a little bit of cooking spices on the aftertaste, but not a whole lot of burn. But I mean, for the price and the proofage and stuff, I think the price kind of matches what you're getting. To be honest, but it reminds me a lot of that
there's some water
30-year-old makers that we tried, the Blue Label one.
30-year-old bottle of makers, yeah.
Yes, 30-year-old bottle.
So what I'm getting, guys, and I've been trying to do simple smells, trying to give y'all something just boom, boom, boom. 3. I'm gonna try to stick with simple taste on this, but it's a hard simple taste. Okay, when you first put it in your mouth, I get a fruity sweetness, not pears, just a bunch of different fruits. I get that fruity sweetness. I, like our producer, I feel that rye in there. I feel that little bit of rye spice, but nothing like alcohol burn, nothing like a burny spice. But the finish is like a burnt peanut or something to me. It's pretty.
Burnt peanut?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, just like what was that? I don't know what Along Came Polly. Do you remember that movie? When
let's not get off track.
Hold on. When what's his name? Who was the star in that?
Ben Stiller.
When Ben Stiller got at the end, and of course he was a risk management guy, so he had to do all the risk, and he weighed all the risk amongst all his options. Well, Polly, have you ever seen that movie?
Maybe once.
She was a risk taker. She didn't do nothing. She didn't think about anything before she did. She just kind of leaped and spread her wings on the way down. But he was a risk taker. Well, they were in dating and everything, and he really liked her. Well, at the end of that movie, they had broke up because he'd messed up, and at the end of that, he goes to a peanut cart there, and I'm guessing they're in New York City, and he grabs peanuts and he throws them on the ground, and then he takes one and he like rubs it on the old nasty asphalt and in puddles and everything else, and he's rubbing it, and she's like, "Oh, don't eat that, don't," and he throws it in his mouth and eats. That's what I imagine the finish is on this. I think that's
We really drew that one out
well,
proportion.
that's the finish I'm getting. I said burnt peanut, but it's some kind of.
So New York Street.
Hold on now,
peanut
let's
is what
go.
we're-
It's a very unusual finish.
I don't think
It's very unusual
I
to
don't
me.
think it's bad at all.
The
You're making
smell
it seem
was
like the worst thing ever.
the finish is I think the finish is.
Just
I do.
neophytes, that sounds about right. I don't think it's bad. I've had it with the water in it now, and it does bring out the spiciness with the high rye a little bit more, but the rest of the taste kind of remain the same for me.
Okay, so
It's not an in-depth bourbon. This one's pretty simple.
I do get some caramel and vanilla notes in there. You get brown sugar notes. I do get
There's
caramel and vanilla.
sweetness.
I get fruitiness, but I cannot pinpoint that fruit. It smelled the smell was pear to me. I don't think
It's
it's pear,
almost like a peach more than anything.
but it's a fruitiness. I'm gonna drop some water in this. Not that you need water for downproofing this, but sometimes water will bring out the taste and the smells and change it a little bit.
Thought it was just flat with a little flavor that I would like. I mean, honestly, that's a pretty good description. Do you remember which one you had at the time I said for more? Like what cask finish you had?
And I'm wondering why I'm not tasting more Chardonnay. I mean, that's a wine, so it should be really grapey.
Bourbon lover, appreciate you tuning into the stream, sir. Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday. If you have a distillery name with a motto, lay it out to us.
He
We're
tried
going to
the
be.
same one.
Oh, yeah, the Chardonnay? Well,
Tried the same one.
maybe we're point on or right on. So I added a little water. Did you notice any difference in the smells?
No.
Okay.
Everything played about straight except for a little bit more of that rye content came through.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, my opinion. When I added water, the wet dog smell goes away. All right, so I do like that. Uh,
It's contradicting. You'd think adding water would bring out the wet dog smell a little more. What are we getting at here?
I'm not a fan.
yeah, producer's not a fan.
I don't think it's bad at all, but I've never disliked really except for one bourbon. I've tried a lot of bourbons, guys, and I've only ever disliked one.
I've disliked two.
It's okay, but it's not.
This one,
not the best.
I'm gonna tell you, this is better with water.
Okay, so maybe this one's on the rocks.
Maybe this one I need to drink. I'll probably finish this bottle with some rocks or at least some water in it. When I drink that with the water, of course, the smell is better, so that's already uplifting.
Uplifting.
I get that fruitiness still at the beginning. Get those rye spices, but that finish is a lot smoother. It doesn't give me that burnt or New York Street peanut taste. It gives me a good smooth finish that flows down with a little bit of sweetness.
Well, thank goodness we're not on the deep in the New York streets anymore with peanuts flying around everywhere. I don't think it was too bad. I think you're being really, really harsh on this.
I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm trying to be honest. But it's a lot better with water. You're gonna have to try it with water after the show. All right.
There's another one.
Farrell Family Farms Distillery. So I got
like
Farrell
that.
Family Farms. 3F would be the short 3F Distillery.
Yeah.
All right, what's our slogan?
What's the slogan? There was the
Welcome to the
slogan.
crapshoot. I think that's a pretty good one.
I don't think it's going to draw in customers.
Sure, it will. It's a tourist attraction. Y'all got to keep talking while I'm writing here. I can't carry
Farrell
the show.
Family Farms. Did we get a slogan?
No, not yet.
Okay, so let's think of a slogan for Farrell Family
I like
Farms.
Personally. They said that's good. We'll just keep that one. Welcome to the crapshoot.
Sometimes you step in poop.
Let the family traditions roll.
Let family traditions roll.
We're like the gum you can't get out of your hair.
Let family traditions roll. I like that one.
They say climbing to the top.
Climbing to the top.
Okay. I like that. Climbing to the top.
But I like family. Let the family traditions roll.
Or family traditions roll. Okay. Yeah. So they were getting some good ideas here, guys. I'll tell you what. So I'll go ahead and give my rating and review on this while you're doing that, and then you'll give yours, and then we're going to draw our name. So if you all got some late entries in for the distillery name contest, go ahead and get those in. But my review. So this is strictly Chardonnay. I have never honestly had another Thomas S. More product. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of finished bourbons. There are good ones. But I'm not drawn to them, I guess. But this is the Chardonnay finished, Thomas S. More. Um, Initially, when you first pour it, I'm not a fan of the smell without water. All right, so this neat did not like the smell. With water, the smell kind of faded away and didn't really resemble anything. It was just a bourbonish kind of agey smell. It wasn't really anything spectacular, but it didn't have a bad smell. Now, neat. The taste to me, the initial taste was good. Uh, with the sweet fruit and the rye, and then it fell off with the horrible burnt peanut, New York Street peanut aftertaste. When I did add water to it, it took the finish and smoothed it out. It kind of leveled everything out. More caramel notes, more vanilla notes, which made it better all in all, which is good for my rating. Uh, don't don't know if I'm a beginner. I don't know if you start with something like this or not. Probably
I mean,
not.
if you can get it for $20.
If you're a beginner, you probably shouldn't start with finished products. Go ahead and start with, something that's basic and learn if you like bourbon or not, and then find out what finishes you like. But for me, considering both the uh, non-water and water bourbon, I'm probably going to give this like I'm going to go with a 5.2.
Honestly, that was bad. I thought you were going to dip down into the fours.
The way that you were talking. I'm going to go with the 5.2. You're in the fours, our producer? 4.5 for our producer.
But I didn't do the water.
You didn't do the water, and that brought it up a lot for me.
Okay.
It didn't make it spectacular, but what it did was it made it okay. And okay is around a 5.
Well, I think the bottle looks kind of awesome. I do like the look of the bottle. It reminds me of a vodka bottle more than anything, but you don't see bourbon bottles like that. So I do like the bottle. It's got a good color to it. It's got a good proofage. I think it could be used for, I don't think, like, kind of on the same aspect that he's on. Like, if you're going for finishes, I don't think that you're a beginner. I think you're just going after normal bourbons as a beginner. So I'm just going to say that this one's probably not beginner friendly, but as far as the proofage goes, it could be if you just find yourself wanting this as a beginner. I don't think it's going to burn you up or anything. The smell and the taste were pretty spot on with and without the water for myself. A little bit of sweetness, a little bit of rye. The rye came out a little bit more with the water. The rest of the smells and tastes were just about spot on with each other. Um, I thought it was real smooth. I didn't think it was a horrible taste. It's very simple. This is a very simple bourbon. There's not a whole lot to actually search for here. Um, but all in all, I'd give it a 6 even.
A 6 even. And see what you just said right there, it being a simple bourbon, I think that defeats the purpose of the finish that they're doing. And they're finishing it for such a long time. So I think that's kind of a fail for them. Because what they're doing when you finish something, you're not trying to make a simple bourbon. You're trying to make something
More
complex. And so to me, the Chardonnay cask, with it being so simple, I think it's kind of a fail at that.
I would say I think the cognac cask is going to come out a lot more than the Chardonnay.
Well, the cognac, that's on the 1792. So I don't know if they do a Thomas S. More cognac.
I bet they do.
I don't know. And I haven't collected all the 1792s. I definitely haven't collected all the Thomas H. Moores. I don't know. Or Thomas S. Moores. I keep calling him H. I don't know why.
There's a school called Thomas H. Moore, and I think Peter actually said that his daughters went to Thomas H. Moore.
Oh, really?
I have to go back and read that comment, but he said they went to Thomas H. Moore School. Yeah,
Well, maybe he was more relevant in history.
maybe.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's go ahead. All your distillery things. If you've waited too long, you've waited too long. Let's see what we can draw out of there. See what if we were to create a distillery today, it's going to be just like the Getz guy that bought and named Barton Distillery.
Let's see what's
We
going on.
put names in a hat. He drew them right out, and that's how Barton got its name. It's now called Barton 1792 Distillery. But at that time,
That's the one.
that's the one.
That's the one.
This ain't the one. This is the one. This is the one Ryan picked. I think he had it rigged. Barrel Trace Distillery. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, there it is. I was literally tossing the hat. I can't predict which one's going to come out of there.
Barrel Trace Distillery. Welcome
the
to
next
the show.
one.
Here.
There it is.
You didn't even fold that one.
We didn't fold any of them.
He
I
didn't
had them
fold.
all folded.
What was number 2?
Cork in it, Country Reserve.
Cork in it, baby.
Get corked. You'll love to pull it. Thanks, guys. For all who participated, I really enjoyed that. That was fun.
Hey,
And just so you do know, some real distilleries get named that way. So that's how it happened.
that cork in it was a group effort. So congratulations to the chat for pitching in on that one and getting her figured out.
Don't forget next month, guys. Next month, I think it's going to be fun too. Not fake it till you make it. February, and non-NDPs that are going to be building distilleries. We'll learn a little bit about them.
Is that all you got for
That's
them?
all I got.
All right, guys. Appreciate you all tuning in as always. It's great to see the chat participating and stuff and just conversating with us. It makes it very enjoyable for us to get to interact with you all a little bit more. Hope everyone has a great start to their weekend. Like he said, be looking forward to Fake It Till You Make It February. We'll keep it short and sweet. All that being said, guys, why drink alone?
When you can drink with us.
We'll see y'all next Friday.
Hey, have a hug?
No.
All right. Well, I'm settling for another warm Kentucky hug. But this one's going to have some water in it. I'll tell you that much. Got to give it some water, guys. Hold on a minute. Cheers.